do is, for these kind of things, I start out at the home base, and then I ride out here, and by the time I get here, the review or the first ride or whatever it is that I'm doing is pretty much done. But in this situation, I decided to come out here and go the opposite direction, change it up a little bit for you guys, show you guys some different scenery. Not that you want to see any scenery besides the bike, but why not? It's fun. It's also fun for me. But anyways, in this first impressions video for you guys, and also a first ride video, because I haven't ridden the bike that much, but I just want to get a first ride and a first impressions video out of the way, so I can detail the things that I like about this bike and the things that I noticed about this bike that are a little bit different than my outgoing 959. So the things I want to talk about in this video obviously is the Öhlins suspension. So we have Öhlins suspension in the back, we have Öhlins suspension in the fork, and we also have Öhlins suspension in the steering damper. Now all these things are fully adjustable, and I have an appointment January 5th or January 4th, I forgot which day it is, to get the suspension tuned, because as of right now it's really hard and stiff. I think it's meant for more of a track oriented situation. The other thing I love about this bike is the goddamn color scheme. Look how beautiful it is. It took a long time to grow on me, the red, the white, and the black combination. I don't know, it's kind of like a confused red, because it's not red and it's not orange. It's somewhere in between, but this is the GP, this is the MotoGP 2017 or 2018 color scheme. Other than that, you know, the quality of the bike is really good. The 2019 models, they have padding inside of here, and I was at MotoGP yesterday and I checked it out, and the insides don't have padding on any of their bikes, the 2019s and the 18s. So this may be something that they introduced in the 2019 Corse models, maybe to preserve the paint. They don't want it to get too hot, but it doesn't make sense because this doesn't have it, and neither does the front, but this has it. So who knows, maybe this gets more hot, or they just wanted to add a little bit more shielding against the heat. I don't know. So the color scheme, the color scheme paint job, it's a matte finish, and then we also have the Öhlins suspension. The sound of this bike is incredible. We're going to fire it up in a little bit, and I'm going to let you hear it. And of course, a couple of things here and there we're going to talk about in this first ride review. So let's get going, and let's get the show on the road. But before we get the show on the road and start riding, please do me a favor and subscribe to my channel, and also like this video. I create some amazing content, and I have a ton of views on my channel. Oops, I made a newbie mistake. Check that out. I didn't put my key in. I got on my bike. There we go. Yeah, so subscribe to the channel. I would really appreciate it. I got a ton of views, but not that many subscribers, so let's get those numbers going. There's going to be a ton of videos similar to this. If you like this video, you're going to like the rest of them that are going to come along. So it would be well appreciated. And before I forget, if you like this video, be sure to check out my 959 review that I did a while back. That's got a ton of views already, and I did that video a while ago, and I think you would enjoy it just as much as this. Some people have the means to purchase this bike, other people have the means to purchase the regular one. So regardless, they're both very similar bikes, and a couple of differences here and there, but that's a great video. I definitely suggest you watch it. I'll go ahead and link it in the cards right up above, so click on it whenever you see it. First things first, that unmistakable Ducati sound, that V-twin gurgle, oh my god, I love that about this bike. Absolutely wonderful. There's just no other sound that compares to it. You know, you look at a bike like a Ducati, and from the exterior with its very flamboyant colors, whether you get the red one, or whether you get the white 959 or this crazy MotoGP color scheme, you know, you would think that for a German car it would have more it would have like a different sound. But I would compare the sound of this bike similar to a Mercedes-Benz AMG. Those cars are muscle cars. And in the world of motorcycles, once you get to the exotic range, and then we start talking Ducati and we start talking Aprilia and all these other things, they sound more like muscle bikes than anything else. But believe me, I'm not complaining about that. I absolutely love the way this bike sounds. It's got a very, very angry tone. And with the stock suspension, with the stock exhaust, this bike is an animal. You're probably sitting at home, or maybe you're watching this on your iPhone or your iPad or whatever mobile device that you're currently on. The sound coming out of your speakers, the tiny speakers that you're using. Now, if you're at home and you got this on computer speakers, if you crank it up, you'll know what I'm talking about. But if you're on small little speakers, the sound just does not do it justice. It's a very, very throaty, bassy, loud, angry, vicious, fire-snorting sound that you just have to listen for yourself. I can describe it to you in a lot of different ways, as I already have, but you just have to listen to it for yourself in order to understand it. I'll end it right there. There's really nothing more to say about the sound besides the fact that it's freaking awesome. A+ in the sound category, and of course they have the Akrapovic exhaust, and 10 other manufacturers make exhaust for this bike. But with that being said, the stock exhaust is freaking loud, and I love it. But as far as the suspension is concerned, like I was mentioning before, the difference between this bike, a lot of people wonder what the differences are between the Corse model and the regular 959 model. Well, the Corse model has the Olin suspension, as I already mentioned. If you bought a 959, I decided to upgrade to the Olin suspension just the way this bike has. You're talking about a $4,000 upgrade, and that's not including labor. So this bike does cost a little bit more, but it's got the premium Olin suspension, which is fully adjustable, just like the Sachs suspension that you get on a regular 959. Unfortunately, I didn't get a chance to take the outgoing 959 on the track, so it's really, really hard for me to compare and contrast between the Olins and the Sachs suspension that the regular 959 came with. But Olins is pretty iconic, and everybody knows them in the suspension market, and obviously it's a far superior product than the suspension that came with the 959. So with that being said, this bike, as is, the suspension is very, very hard. Like riding this bike on regular roads, like right now, I'm on a very, very smooth, buttery surface. Oh, actually, let's not talk about buttery, because that would mean it's very slippery. Alright, I take that back. This road is very, very smooth, but I feel all the bumps, even though there aren't any bumps. So if I were to compare this bike to a car, let's just say that the regular 959, the way it felt to me, was kind of like a Porsche 911 Carrera S. That's like your everyday type of car. You can take that car to the track, you can take that car grocery shopping, or you can take it on the mountains. And the 959, the regular one, is kind of similar to that because the suspension is not that hard from the factory. Now, I don't know if you buy this bike, if you buy it pre-owned and somebody tuned it for suspension for the track, or they're a heavier set person, they tuned it, you got it, we may have an argument there. But if we're talking stock configuration from the factory, the regular 959 is a lot softer than this bike is. This bike, I don't think it's been tuned because the bike is a 2019 and it only came with about 1,000 miles. The guy who I bought it from, well, I shouldn't say the guy who I bought it from, the dealership who I bought it from, which was MotoGP, they actually took this in as a trade-in, and they know the owner. He's been a customer of theirs for a long time. Originally planned on tracking it, not like my previous bike where I almost got scammed. I'll link the description. I'll link that video also to the cards. Take a look at it. When I bought this bike, I almost got scammed. Well, previous to that. Anyways, you'll find out once you watch the video. But anyways, this bike has not been tracked because I looked at the tires, the brakes, everything is pretty good. It checks out. So the guy, he couldn't have upgraded the suspension. I mean, by upgrade, I meant adjusted the suspension. So it is a little rough, and it's gonna go to a suspension tuning company here in Ramona, San Diego. And these guys are pretty well known for upgrading suspensions and tuning them and everything like that. So after that, it should feel a lot better. So the suspension is amazing, the sound is amazing. As far as the color scheme is concerned, like I mentioned, it's got the 3 color scheme. It's a pretty wild color, man. It grabs a lot of attention. Like it's not like a ridiculous amount of unwanted attention. It's more like you're riding on the street, and you know, on a nice day, if your eyes are not on the road and they're looking at other things, you do notice other people looking at you from cars. Obviously, kids love it. Grown-ups love it. So I get the smiles from the kids all the time. It's a really cool looking bike. It's really, really sexy looking. There's nothing to hate about it. Just a very, very beautiful color scheme. And I'll be honest with you, in the beginning, it took a while to grow on me because I looked at this bike and I was just so in love with that deep, deep red you get from my previous 959. And when I looked at the red of this, I was like, I don't like it. But I guess, you know, you just have to own one, and eventually it grows on you. And it really has grown on me, and I love it. So, color's awesome, the sound is awesome, the suspension is awesome. Let's see what else I like about this bike. Oh, yeah, so as I was mentioning, the 959 that I had, it didn't have the padding inside of the fairings, the side fairings. So I was at MotoGP the other day, and I looked at all the bikes and I did not see padding on the fairings. So I was curious about that. I was like, maybe it's a 2019 Ducati Corse thing, because if you watch all the reviews and you read all the reviews of the 2019 versus 2018, they're kind of like canned reviews. They don't really go in depth. They just kind of repeat exactly what was for 2019 if the manufacturer didn't give them anything that was different from the previous gen. So I don't really think that they look at this bike pretty much in depth, but that's one thing I definitely noticed when I was checking out this bike. I don't know how it's gonna work now, but during summer, whenever it's like 75, 80 degrees, instead of cooking my legs medium well and my butt, maybe this time it'll be rare. Let's hope that the heat is cut down as a result of this padding. I hope you liked that first impression video, and it is time to conclude this. And I did get a pull for you guys. I wasn't going that fast actually, I didn't check, but I probably hit like 70. Anyways, don't tell anybody I did that, okay? So anyways, please don't forget, please don't forget to like and subscribe this video. I create about 2-3 videos a week, and the ratio of views on my channel versus the number of subscribes is extremely low. So now that I have this bike, I'm going to be posting a ton more videos. So if you like this one, stay tuned for the review video. And be sure to check out my other video for the 959 and a whole bunch of other stuff I have on my channel, so please make sure to do that. And I'll see you guys on the next episode. Take care and have a great day. Bye-bye.